You are now watching the Movie Juice Podcast.
The juice is loose.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Movie Juice Podcast. I'm Dylan.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm James.
Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Movie Juice! Juice the movie! Oh, yeah. I always forget how many movie juices we do.
It changes.
I thought it was 4, but then you guys stopped after 3. I'm like, what do I do?
It's never the same.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's been times where we've done like 5.
Probably.
Dude, my cat wasn't digging any of it. Nah, he just stared.
Oh my god, he was having more flashbacks over there.
So this week, did you guys hear Mom come to me?
I heard what I didn't hear what like Nosferatu at the beginning. I couldn't understand what you were saying, but now that you've said it in a regular voice, that was pretty good.
Yeah, well, that was 90% of the movie.
That's literally if you take any line away from this movie, it'll be that one.
Nosferatu. And he's
No,
the 2024 version, not the
Nosferatu.
1922 film.
As Willem Dafoe said,
He's
Nosferatu.
coming. He's coming.
He's coming
hard. He's coming.
He's coming. Come to me.
Alright, so this movie came out on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. There's probably like 7 o'clock showings on Christmas Eve.
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly.
I mean, yeah.
I've never looked because I never go on Christmas Eve because I'm not a piece of shit.
Sorry. I don't think going on Christmas Eve makes you a piece of shit. I think going on Christmas Day makes you a
Christmas
piece
Eve,
of shit.
Christmas Day. It doesn't matter.
Christmas Day.
Unless you go early on Christmas Eve, maybe. But like, if you're going to like 7, 10 o'clock shows on Christmas Eve, fuck you.
Whenever I worked there, it was always dead ski on Christmas Eve. Yeah,
Really?
but then we got our shit pushed in on Christmas Day. Yeah, you get your ass, you get tore a whole new asshole. Christmas Day is like you're walking into the Vietnam War, baby.
I remember.
You know
what I remember.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I worked Christmas Eve when I worked there, but I did work Christmas Day and the day after Christmas, and both of those days fucking sucked.
Every year except my last one, I think I worked Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Damn.
Thanksgiving wasn't bad. It was kind of slow. Black Friday was a little bit busier.
Yeah, Black Friday because you get the run off of people finishing shopping and they come watch a movie.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, let's go see a movie.
And then Christmas Day, the day after Christmas, both sucked hard.
Yeah.
I remember that. But, yeah, so you guys want to get started with the movie?
Before we do anything else, we totally skipped recommendations.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Sorry, guys.
No.
I mean...
I feel like for me, I'm going to go ahead and... It's a slight recommend. If you like Robert Eggers, I say you give it a shot.
If you like vampire movies...
Yeah. If you liked The Witch and The Lighthouse, I'd say give it a watch. You know what you're getting into. I think you'll like it.
I say...
But just expect a slow burn.
A slow burn.
I recommend at least seeing it once, but maybe don't go to the theater. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say go see it in the theater.
Unless
you got like A-list or whatever.
If you got A-list, or you're like I said, or you're just a fan of Robert Eggers. I think you'll like it.
Just wait for streaming.
Yeah.
Well, if you like vampires,
even
give
that,
it a shot. Yeah, it's.
Or if you like Bill Skarsgård or
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, because I mean, like you can barely tell that. Like you can never tell that's Bill Skarsgård, but like
Dude,
he does do good. Like I believe that's Nosferatu.
His fear of wanting to be Pennywise and being typecasted has come back to haunt him because he is literally just typecasted.
Yeah. The one time he wasn't was Barbarian.
Yeah, not at all in that one.
Oh, he's in that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why I haven't seen it.
I think Willem Dafoe does a good job. He definitely
Willem Dafoe is great.
He chews up every scene he's in.
Yeah, because he chews up every scene he's in The Lighthouse too. So like I think he knew what bag to be in for this movie
For sure.
Yeah.
I'd say slight recommend like what you said though.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so you guys want to get started with the movie?
Yeah.
So, did you get all the production companies?
Hell no, did you?
I wrote down 2 of them. Maiden Voyage and Studio 8.
I knew one of you guys would probably get most of them. That's why I was like...
I missed the first one, I think.
I think it was something films.
It was something... It was like... because it was FF something. But
Feature films.
Feature films, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Good shit, boys.
Because I remember their logo was like an FF.
Between the 3 of
Foo
us,
Fighters.
we done it all. So, the movie starts.
Yeah, and there's crying.
There's a black screen lady crying with a music box in the background. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah, I just write crying and then come to me.
Yeah. And then the lady comes into frame and she's like, "Come to me, guardian angel."
And then
she's like, "Anything that hears my call." And then something responds.
Yeah.
But I just want to write that even though I had no idea what we were getting into, it's kind of funny in hindsight that the first time I wrote down "come to me," I spelled it "come." house.
Oh, I know, I did too. I think we all made that joke because that line's in the trailer too, and like I feel like we made that joke multiple times this year. But while we saw the trailer, because like it was very sexual even in the trailer. She's like, "Come to me."
I didn't know it was gonna be like this though.
Yeah.
And then
"Come to me" whispers back. He whispers "Come to me" back.
yeah, like in her voice, kinda.
Yeah.
At first, and then he starts talking to her, and he's like, "You," and he says, "You waken me from an eternity of darkness," in some language. Hit her with that Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You. You know what I'm saying?
See, I went Soldier Boy with a you.
Oh, there you go.
You.
Two different kinds of guys.
Two different yous.
And then he tells her that like she's not the living, she's not humankind. He tells her that.
Yeah. She's mankind.
And then it shows like a big house.
Yeah. Pants to the outside of it.
And he says, "And you shall be with me eternally. Do you swear it?" And then like she says that she does.
I do.
And then there's like she's like laying there moaning.
Yeah, she's literally just like.
I wrote sex moans, saucy.
I put unintentional sexual moans leads to her screaming and getting choked.
He starts choking her out. Yeah, you see like he like no clips in.
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Bro, he really does.
And as I said, spooky thing grab her and chokes her out because
like
only she can see it.
Because the way the curtains are flowing, you can't really see him, but like you can see because they refer to him as the shadow too. Like, it's like a shadow,
which I will say
is cool.
Later on in the movie there are a lot of really cool shots.
I agree.
Of that.
I only put the word unintentionally sexually moans because like I didn't know it was gonna be
a sex
actual,
movie.
Yeah.
It becomes a sex movie.
Yeah, real quick.
But then we get the title card, and then it says years later, and then the girl wakes up. Which at the time I didn't correlate that it was the same girl.
Yeah.
Later on,
that's why I thought, like, but I really would like. I don't know what they would have done to combat it, but like having it be her at like in the present when it's technically a flashback was kind of confusing.
I agree.
Like, because then it said years later, and I'm like, is it? Because she just looks the same.
She looks the same.
Same haircut and everything.
Yeah, like I guess I just didn't want to hire a child actor to make those noises, which I get, but like I don't know, maybe they could have done something digitally to her face to make her look younger or something. I don't know, but it was confusing. But
and she's in a room with a dude named Thomas. And they had just gotten married, you find out.
I didn't write his name down for a minute.
I didn't either. His was the last one I got. It wasn't until he got back. Because multiple people say it, I just never caught it.
His boss is like that. I didn't write his name down until like...
Oh, I wrote his name down because I saw this. When it zoomed in on the sign of his... I know we're getting ahead, but when it zoomed in on the sign, I made sure to write it down. They also have a cute cat.
They do. And I put, if the kitty dies, we're going to write.
Yeah, spoiler alert, it didn't. I know I'm saying spoiler. But like, I want to go ahead and get that Band-Aid off right now.
The cat does not die. You are correct.
Because I actually have a note about it later. I was like, hey.
Yeah, I made sure to write, she tells him to take his shoes off because she's trying to get him in the bed.
Yeah.
And he says, no, he doesn't have time.
He's already late.
Hey, man.
They got a kitty.
Look, if I'm already late and the wife wants to get it on, I'm just going to be even more late.
Especially because his boss was so cool about it, bro.
Sure, bro. You think I haven't spared a minute for my old lady before? I have.
Hey.
Because his boss was cool about it, so I mean, he definitely could have spent an extra minute and been like,
yeah.
Because that's probably all it would have took back then.
Just like, hey, man, I was getting some stanky on my hang down.
I was getting a nut in the butt, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
And the boss would be like, bird.
Dab me up right now.
Dab me up, dude. Dab me up, dude.
And then
he leaves to go to work.
And she's like, he already has the position. He's going to get sent away. Because she's telling him she had like a bad dream, and I guess that's like a part of her dream too.
Yeah, because later on she talks about like she's basically psychic, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he also has a top hat, and I thought they were in London, but you find out they're in
thought they were in London too, because isn't that like where... No. I think that's because that's where Dracula takes place, not Nosferatu. I mean, even though it's like based off the same thing. Yeah. Because I know Nosferatu, I think originally was German too, right? Yeah. So so I don't know why. Like I thought it was London too until I remember that's more like Dracula. Not,
the 1922 film was
that's more
was
German.
set in German.
Yeah.
And then set in Germany.
Homie jogs to work, and I wrote the run.
Yeah.
And then what's the name of the building?
Well, before that, we find you might have just said a second ago. You get Germany 1836. I don't know if you just said that.
I thought it was 1938.
Yeah, it's 38.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, wait. At least that's what I wrote.
But it's 1838, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it 1838?
1838.
Oh, I thought it was 1938.
I like how we all had different numbers. And like I had the century right. I just had the year wrong.
But yeah,
Knock and Associates.
Okay, that's also what I read.
It also like the whole scene where he walks in there and he's like, it gave me like 1984 Christmas Carol vibes.
Yeah,
because everyone's
except he was kind of cool about it, not an asshole like Scrooge.
Fucking Scrooge.
He goes there and talks to Hancock or whatever his name is. Hancock.
Will Smith is in this movie.
Hal Knock. I can't remember. I wrote his name down later.
I think his name is just Knock, but I didn't write it down for like till almost the end of the movie.
And then he says that about the new husband needs new wages, and he congratulates the wife. And he also like be complimenting her overly, and I said he wants to bang his wife. And then he starts talking about a foreign account they have, and it's an old line of nobility, and how they want to retire there at a place called I didn't really catch the name of the
something Berg.
It's like the Gunaberg.
Oh, bro. See, I misheard it, and I totally wrote down the Gunnervelt Manor.
Yeah. So,
And I was like, the Gunnervelt?
yeah, I was like, goon in mind.
But it was some German word that probably spelled with a bunch of W's.
Well,
and
we
B's.
find out that Nosferatu be gooning. So
Nosferatu do be gooning.
What's a goon to a goblin? Know what I mean?
He does look like a goblin too. So, I mean, maybe he was both.
And Thomas is like, well, why does he want that place? And he wants an old home. And then you find out that Thomas has to go and like fetch the old man that they're talking about because they haven't said his name yet. And he wants an agent in the flesh. It's insisted, and the agent will be rewarded handsomely. And he also tells Thomas that like if he does this and he is able to get this account, he'll get official position because it's like an estate firm or something. Like he's a real estate agent or some bullshit like that. And then you find out that the person's name is Count Orlok. And then it cuts outside.
Whenever he first said it, I wrote it down as Olok, and then I realized there was an R in there, and I was like,
Because I don't really know much about the original, but like when he said that, I was like, "That's in my notes." I put that's probably Nosferatu.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about the original, other than like they deemed it too scary for 1922 in Germany,
Right.
and then like they had to destroy all the copies. But if they thought that was scary, just wait 20 years.
If time travel is ever invented, I say we bring this movie back and show this to them because it definitely wasn't scary, but it had some moments where I was like, "This would scare the pants off someone in the 20s."
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
And then it cuts to like him going outside and it's raining. He's going on a 6-week journey. That's how long he's gonna be gone. His wife is not happy.
Because she had a death dream where he didn't come back, basically.
He also gave her some flowers,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
she's
this was weird. She flipped out.
She's like, I don't want your stank ass flowers. And
Yeah.
that's basically what she said.
She's like, they'll be dead in a day. And I was
Yeah,
like,
he's
I mean,
like, we can put him in water. She's like, I don't want to keep him alive for a few days.
I mean, yeah, like it's sane because I have the world's worst green thumb, but still, like it was the thought that counts. He was thinking of you, you know.
And then she tells him about how she had a wedding with Death, but it was like scared her because she was like happy that she was married to Death, and all the guests were dead too.
She says it with like a weird smile and a weird laughter, like, like
she was bout it, you know.
Yeah, she was monologuing hard.
It was monologuing hard, and then holding hands with Death made her happy, and she starts crying about it. And Thomas is like, "Hey, let's not talk about this, and everything will be okay." And she starts talking about how she thinks it's a premonition, like something bad's gonna happen. And then they go to like I assumed they were at a party, but really they're just going over to their friend's house. This is where you meet Frederick and Anna and their little kids, which I didn't get Frederick's name for a long time.
Yeah, honestly, I had IMDb pulled up, and that's when I wrote their names down.
Fair enough. But he goes there, and Thomas, he gets congratulated on his adventure. You find out that Frederick owns the shipyard, which comes back later.
Yeah.
And he also has 3 kids. And then I put, 2 and a fetus, because his wife is pregnant.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about how bad he wants to bang his wife. And I wrote that bro fucks his wife hard.
And that was played by Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Did you get his name?
Frederick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
I call him Fredian.
I do kind of the same thing with Thomas. I call him Tom, Tommy.
I called Nosferatu all the time, just NOS.
Yeah, I also
because like I didn't want to type out Nosferatu every fucking time.
You know, a lot of the time I just put him down as Orlok.
Yeah, good call.
He's Orlok, Nosy.
Nosy. I thought about Nosy too, and I was like, oh, no, that's gonna sound stupid.
Nah.
In my notes, I'm like, oh, that's gonna sound stupid, even though I'm the one writing.
I mean, I never wrote down the Doctor or Willem Dafoe's characters.
I just keep referring to him as Willem.
I do too, because I
think I referred to him once as Doc.
I put the Doctor down as Doctor, and I put Dafoe's character down as just the Professor.
Yeah, Professor. That's I was going to. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
But this is where Frederick's little girls show up, and you kind of get introduced to them.
Yep.
And they keep going, Papa! Papa! There's a monster in our room! There's a monster under the bed!
There will be.
And he's like, alright, I gotta go hunt a monster.
I leaned over to him because it said in Germany 1838, and I said if they think that's a monster, just wait 100 years.
It's weird that you made that exact same joke earlier, and then it's funny that you made it again during the movie.
Dude, I'm having to do it. You know what I mean?
And
then that's because you also find out that Frederick is going to look after
Ellen, yeah.
Ellen while Thomas is gone.
Yeah. Is on his trek.
His trip.
What? His trek, bro.
He's fucking Captain Picard.
And then
I'm trying to do the other one.
Thomas and his wife start like making out heavy in that dude's living room.
Yeah, I also wrote down.
And I was like, bro, he just put his kids to bed. Like, calm down.
Hey,
like, when'd you get home?
And then she was horned up, dude.
This is one of my like least favorite parts of the movie because there's a lot of like sudden hard cuts. I feel like where you like bounce to and
like
from.
The scene's
a lot
done.
Of
And
things.
it's just like, all right, cool, we're done with that one.
And like I was like, ugh, because I just feel like, and I know that like that happens in every movie.
Yeah,
but it's like I feel like
a lot of his movies too.
They cut too weirdly. Like there's nothing that tells you that all this is a flashback. All this is
that's true too.
This is like a
except for
dream
that
sequence.
first one. Like
like all of them just cut as if they didn't have any budget to make it fade out or anything.
Because it's just like abruptly it shows Ellen sitting in front of a mirror and she like cuts her hair ominously.
Yeah.
And then it immediately cuts again
to Nosferatu.
To a room of candles with I
yeah.
assume Nosferatu in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I realized no, it's not Nosferatu. It's Hodgkins, the boss dude, and he's doing some weird knock.
Yeah,
Is that what we're gonna call him?
I think that's what his name.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was like a H. I don't know. It's down here somewhere. Knock is like doing some weird ritual thing.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's his boss because they say it later.
Yeah, it's Knock.
I never really realized who that was because he didn't look the same as he did in the original. Because I guess he didn't see his face that well.
Yeah,
but
I wrote, it's the weird old man from the firm.
Because later on, I put him down as Igor because he basically like this version of like Igor.
Mm-hmm.
So I put him down as Igor a lot of the time. But I didn't realize that was okay. That makes a lot more sense as to why he kind of set him up. I never realized that.
But then it shows like another.
That's how weird this movie's pace is. Like
it's so weird.
Yeah,
dude. And because it's just like I feel like they really. I mean, even like AMC's like, oh, it's an artisan film. It's just so
very artsy fartsy.
It's very artsy fartsy, and it was a bit much for my liking.
I'm glad you could at least understand the dialogue. Like, but I thought it wasn't like William Shakespeare, iambic pentameter or whatever. Like at least, even though they're speaking in old English type talk, you could understand what they meant. Yeah.
See, I kind of thought since it was set in Germany, they'd all have like German accents, but like no, they all just kind of just spoke how they would normally speak.
Except for like Nosferatu, who sometimes speaks in, I think it was German, but I
see his accent gave me more like Russian vibe.
Could be, I have no idea. His mustache did, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Ellen tells Thomas she is proud of him when he's getting ready for his journey, and she tells him to make sure he writes every day.
Every day.
And then
how would she get the letter if he writes every day?
I don't know. You'd have to at least expect a few days for the mail to start getting there. Bro rides off.
Not to mention later on when he gets his soul sucked.
Bro rides off on a horse, and
I thought that was weird because I was like, you don't want like a carriage?
Yeah, yeah, that would have made more sense.
Because I don't understand because it cuts so quick to him like already like halfway there, and I'm like, first of all, you're on a horse. Second of all, later when Nosferatu takes the ship there, like why didn't you did you have to take a ship? I don't.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. How did he get there? But Nosferatu had to come on the boat.
And then
that makes sense to me.
When he rides away, it shows Ellen standing there, and Sarah leans in and says, "Ellen's sleeves are atrocious." Because she had these big puffy sleeves on, and I put she is correct. I don't know what the fuck that bitch wearing.
That's just the time I guess there.
But then it's like shows like panning shots of him riding the horse.
Yeah, it was
like
pretty cool.
A lot of cool cinematography in this movie.
Agreed.
I really thought that. And then it shows Bro like walking his horse, which I don't really understand why he's not riding his horse anymore.
Yeah, maybe he needed some exercise. I don't know.
Maybe his ass fell asleep.
Yeah,
he goes and like looks off a mountain cliff down at a village.
That was a nice scene.
And I thought that was a cool little shot too. Yeah. And then it shows him like walking his horse into town.
And then everyone's like dancing and playing Renaissance
and this one
music.
guy's hand boning.
Yeah,
dude. I wrote that dude's dance didn't have to go that hard.
He starts laughing all maniacally, and I put in my notes, hand boning will save your life one day.
Yeah, everyone's laughing at Thomas. And then the old guy comes out. He says something about how he's visiting Castle Orlok, and the people like freak out.
Yeah.
But then he's like,
he offers to pay double to stay the night.
So he gets to stay.
Yeah.
And then you walk inside, and there's like a lady doing a garlic blessing on somebody.
I put that on my notes too. I thought that was interesting.
Yep.
To keep him away, I guess.
Yeah.
And then also that same lady takes Tom to his room.
Yeah, and she like begs him not to stay.
Yeah.
She begs him not to go to the castle.
And I assume is German, I guess. She's like, oh, please don't. Because it's a lot of the people who talk in other languages it has subtitles for.
Yeah, which I do appreciate that.
Agreed, and then like I guess she was also saying beware of him and his shadow.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool too.
But he obviously doesn't understand her, and then he goes to sleep, and then that night he wakes up, I guess, and he sees them blessing a virgin
on a horse.
And you see a boob?
You see one boob.
Can I see one titty?
And the boys, we all dapped up.
You ever see that clip from SNL with Jim Carrey?
No. Oh no.
I'll play for you later.
And then they like stab a corpse.
Yeah, and I put in my notes, I just put vampire hunt ?
And
That was Vin
Thomas
Diesel.
screams.
Oh God, no.
Thomas screams for them to stop, but then he wakes up. So I guess it was a dream.
But then his shoes were all muddy.
Yeah.
Well, he was in bed, so I was like, I guess it was. And then he had some sort. I think he had a cross on him too, and he like rips it off after he wakes up. So I assume they were trying to protect him.
And now the town is deserted.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
they
stole
stole
his
his fucking horse.
And bro just literally leaves and takes a hike.
He's like,
And then he crosses some. And this got confusing for me too, because he crosses this big wooden bridge, and then it looks like he's in the castle, but he's on like a big dusty road. And then the horse drawn by itself carriage comes out and gets him.
Dude, I wouldn't have gotten in that fucking thing.
Me neither.
It was creepy though, because I just put in my notes it was a driverless carriage, and I was like, "Are you just gonna hop in there?"
Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
And this is when I
It's
saw,
like it's being chased by dogs too, and I'm like, I guess that makes sense as to why you wouldn't want to drive her, but still, like,
Yeah,
how was
but
it
like-
driving?
how did the horse know where to go? And then this castle is very big and spoopy. Also, somebody sneezed and Kyle quietly whispered, "Bless you."
I was feeling generous. I was kind of bored with the movie, so I didn't mind. I wasn't trying to pay attention
There
that
was a
hard.
fucker in this movie that kept coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Somebody kept
And right at the
coughing.
end, dude, my fucking throat got really dry, and I coughed too, and I was like, "Fuck, please don't get mad at me." I was like, "Please don't get mad at me, Dylan." I was like,
Well, because that one guy just kept
He
doing
wouldn't-
that, and
he
I was-
wouldn't stop,
Like, at
yeah.
one point, I was like, yo, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
And then all of a sudden, he's like at the castle door, and the door just opens and closes behind him.
Yeah, dude, there ain't no fucking way.
And then he starts.
because when he walks in there, he sees a figure like far off in the distance, which I think was Nosferatu.
Yeah, and he goes, "You are late."
Yeah, I wrote. Apparently, Thomas is late.
But I
and
mean,
he goes up.
that seems to be like a theme.
That's like a running theme for
Yeah,
him.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't have a horse for half of that.
Yeah,
ride,
right.
probably.
I wanted to mention that was R from Warm Bodies.
Yeah, he's also Beast.
He is Beast. We just watched Warm Bodies not long ago.
That's fair.
And I was like, oh, hey.
He's also Renfield. There we go.
Was he Renfield too? I thought so. But I didn't know for sure.
But he's real good.
He was also John in the Garfield movie.
Yeah, he was. I forgot about that.
Holy shit.
From episode 1 of the Movie Juice podcast.
Movie just listen to all of the episodes and download them, please.
Please.
We really want to just do stuff like this
All the time.
All the time.
all the time and not work ever again, please.
Please.
For the love of God.
We'll get a Patreon soon, whenever we get an actual website working.
Yeah.
And maybe
2025 coming soon.
Maybe some more viewers.
And maybe development can work on some t-shirt merch. Well, we got to get a better logo.
We gotta get a better
Yeah,
logo.
yeah, yeah.
Development get a thing done.
Hey,
Hey.
listeners, right? If you have a suggestion for a new logo, send it in.
Yeah.
And you can email us, moviejuicepod@gmail.com. Right in.
But anyway, Thomas goes up a big staircase that leads to a room with a fireplace.
And it's very ominous.
It's very ominous, and Orlok is like, sit out the deed and
He's
sit.
trying to get down to business, basically. It's like,
Yeah.
whoop that shit out, little man. Hey, and that also goes with it because he also insists that he be called my lord.
Yeah, he's very impatient as well.
Yeah.
And I thought he had like a weird servant because he starts like no clipping around the room.
Yeah, it was weird. No, I guess
And
it's
I
just
was
really
like-
quick. I guess.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
And I just put this motherfucker teleporting.
yeah.
And then Thomas tells him about like how he saw all the weird shit in the village, and
Yeah.
Nosferatu or Orlok is like the people are very superstitious around here, and they practice like
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
stuff. And he talks
And
about
he's like trying to get away from it.
that's
he's
why he
moving,
wants to
yeah.
leave. That's his excuse.
Which I mean, he kind of is because he wants to go somewhere where he can actually feed and shit.
yeah. And then this whole time he's talking, he's like growling,
Yeah.
like
He's smoked 8 packs a day for fucking 25 years.
Yeah.
like
And then because remember he was asking, like, he's like, "Sorry." He's like, "No more questions about it."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Okay, calm down."
Yeah, dude.
Oh, just take it easy, man.
I put Thomas as having the scariest meeting of his life.
and like
real.
Thomas like cuts himself while eating.
Yeah, and
He's trying
Nosferatu's like,
to cut some bread.
that's when he really growls. He's like,
Yeah, bro. He's trying to get in that schmeat. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to get that boy
not in the
meat.
fun way.
No. And then it cuts to Ellen, and she's like talking to Anna. They're like walking.
Yeah.
And she's like, do you ever feel like you aren't a person, not present or alive? And she goes on some whole spiel about how, like, basically, like, do you ever feel like something else is controlling your life and all this?
I've been there.
And Anna's like, well, isn't that like God? And she's like, no, it's something different. I don't know.
After a couple hits of the devil's lettuce, I feel that way. I'm
Of
like,
the,
oh shit.
of the ganj.
Yeah.
The ganj. And then she says that her heart is lost without Thomas. And then it cuts back to Thomas.
See, I thought that was weird because like he wasn't. She was talking about him as if he was dead.
I know,
Yeah.
man. It's so weird. And, like, I guess, I don't know. Like, I mean, he's been gone for a while at this point. So, because I would assume it's the 6 weeks would be 3 weeks there, 3 back.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
If he's late, so I would say he might be like a a week behind.
Yeah, maybe
Which
like
is also
4
kind of
weeks.
the start of like a small pacing problem I noticed of
Yeah.
like, you know, he's been gone for so long, but we just saw it took him like 2 scenes to get there. Basically.
It didn't take him long to get there either.
Yeah.
But also, man, I'm glad they didn't fucking take longer.
That's true. Just like later on with the boat, like they made a whole fucking movie about just the boat part.
Yeah.
Earlier last year, so like
The last voyage of the
so like
Demeter.
you know like
How was that?
if they can do that,
Alright.
it wasn't terrible. But like if they can do that, like it's like it is a lot they have to put in there.
It is. So I mean, like it
could
can be forgiven.
Yeah, like it's forgivable, but it's still kind of discombobulating.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, like there's also some more stuff later on where he talks about like 3 nights.
Yeah,
and it
like-
felt like there was like 6 nights in between
Agreed.
that span.
Yeah.
I'll get there because I definitely do think there was 3 nights, but there's one thing that I'm like, they pack a lot into that.
Yeah.
But Thomas wakes up in the castle. It's daytime. There's nobody there. He starts exploring.
Oh, but they signed the paper before the night.
No, they signed the paper that night, or there's like a flashback to it or something. Because he goes and walks around and he sees like that weird, where he's been bitten. He sees that first.
My next note was just that they signed the papers.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're probably right. I just don't know.
I got you.
That's just my next note.
Yeah, because like he's walking around and he sees
The
he
bite.
noticed, that bite, and then he sees rats popping out of the
Yeah, and then he drops that
he
mirror.
drops that
drops that
mirror.
mirror.
And I put, dude probably got his soul sucked out.
Yeah, and then it cuts, and then it immediately cuts to the nighttime again, and he's
Gotcha.
with
That's what they signed.
Orlok
Gotcha. Yeah.
signing the
Yeah.
deed, and Orlok says something about like he's wearing like a maiden's token.
Yeah.
It's something from his wife Ellen, who we talked about.
He's like, let me hold that G.
Yeah, he asks if he can see it, and he tells him that he's fortunate fortunate for his love. And I
know.
put Orlok got long fingernails.
He really does.
Yeah, he does.
Very like
very
early,
Nosferatu.
like the SpongeBob.
Yeah.
meme.
Nosferatu.
That's the only reference I have to it. He did have long
Yeah.
fingernails, so like it
Um,
makes sense.
I know Bill Skarsgård did an interview recently, and he was like answering fan questions. That was one of the questions. It was like, oh, with those like big prosthetics, if you had to take a dump on set, how did you wipe it? He was like, oh, I had a release. He's like, on the costume there was like a release mechanism where I could just take those off.
That's fucking
that's
cool,
cool.
dude. Shit, that'd be cool to see the behind the scenes of this movie. That would be
Yeah.
really interesting.
And then I've noticed that it was kind of like he was like making a deal.
You see,
Yeah,
bring
but
it
I
up
was
later.
wondering when he had to sign. I was like, I feel like there's something in the fucking.
yeah, I was thinking
There's got to be a clause somewhere in
Yeah.
there that he's not reading the fine print. But I'm like, and then later on, you
Yeah.
find out he did.
Whenever he was signing his name, I was like, I bet that dude just signed his fucking soul over.
Yeah, he has no idea.
He has no idea.
And later on, Nosferatu gaslights his wife.
And then he
into
wants,
thinking he did.
Thomas wants to leave,
Yeah, he wants to get the fuck out of there
but
real quick.
Orlok is like,
because
"Do
he's like,
not
I'm feeling
journey-
ill. I
Yeah.
need to go, and he's like, oh no, it's bad. It's a bad omen to
to
travel
journey
while
in
you're
poor
ill.
health." Yeah,
So you gonna stay?
You gonna stay and
and
get
then he
your
makes him
manhole
stay.
touched.
and this is the first
new
time
manholes.
I take a note that I say I think this movie's a little boring. This is when it's really starting to get me.
Yeah, I started pulling a U in the movie where I just kept like getting further and further down in my seat. Because I remember at one point Kyle had to lean over and in to talk to me.
But then you find out it is a bite on his chest, and Thomas tries to get out, and he gets outside, but he can't get the gate open, and then he ends up going and like beating in another door, and there's like a bunch of like crypts down there, and I wrote Thomas is sweaty
Yeah,
because he's a very sweaty man this entire movie.
he was. And this is
Um,
where I put Tom has bite marks on his chest. He definitely got his soul sucked out, and he probably just signed his soul over it as well.
And then he goes up to a pentagram. He goes up to a crypt with a pentagram that's not a pentagram, but we will call it a pentagram anyway.
Yeah, he's geeking out.
And then he opens it, and there's like a weird looking body inside, which I guess it's Count Orlok in that, right?
Yeah, because he opens it.
Is it Count
Yeah.
Orlok? It is, right?
Yeah. I didn't know because we hadn't really seen much of him.
Yeah.
Well, like, he picks up this like I couldn't find the name of it, but like the mining tool.
Yeah, he picks up that pickaxe.
Yeah, he picks that up and tries to stab him with it, and I put Orlok pulls an Undertaker and just
Yeah, he grabs the pickaxe from him and stands up, and it's hanging dong.
yeah.
Yeah, we see like Dick Root. You know what I mean?
It's yeah.
You see both.
Because I didn't realize it was Nosferatu originally, but then I was like, because he leaned over, he's like, bro, was he hanging dick? I'm like, yeah, no, he totally was.
Yeah, because he pretty much pulls Undertaker with that sit-up move, and then like Thomas basically just shits his pants.
yeah, dude, he does. And then he turns and starts running.
It's weird though that how did he know, or was he just trying to kill the motherfucker? But like, how did he know that like he needed the steel to, or at least like that's like the myth, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. He kind of just leaves that part out.
I guess he just wanted wanted to fucking kill him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he thought maybe if he could kill him, he could leave. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably it. He probably didn't think anything about the seal.
Or his mind was probably like, man, if I open this and there's a, what if the body's still alive? I'm gonna have to kill it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Because his eyes were closed, I think. Were they open or closed?
I think they were closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then he goes running and he like closes the door and like locks himself in a room.
And he says in German, "Your husband is lost to you. Dream of me, only me."
That's exactly what I put in my notes too. Because I was like, damn, bro, Jesus, calm down. Did we mention that symbol that coffin had the same symbol, the knock?
No, we
on the
didn't.
floor? Okay.
But it was, yeah. It was like a 6. I don't know what it would be, but it was like 6 points.
Isn't that a pentagram?
No,
Or
that's
is that
5.
5. Okay. I'm not up to date with my knowledge of the occult. So.
Yeah. Same.
But then closes the door, and then it cuts to Orlok doing that spell with Ellen, dreaming of him instead of Thomas, dreaming of me, only me, like you guys already said.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to Thomas.
And he's creeping on Tom, and he sucks his soul out.
I wrote there's a cool shot when Thomas opens the door, and then it cuts to Ellen like walking through it. That was really cool.
And then it cuts back while he's getting sucked, and then it cuts back quickly. And then it cuts quickly back to Ellen with some more titty.
Yeah,
like very quickly. It's like flash.
I wrote, was that more boobs? Split second boobs? I didn't add those to the titty counter yet because you'll see why when we get there.
Yeah.
Thomas is dead. He's not, but I thought he was. And then Ellen been sleepwalking.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to do that. I was like, is it going to be like one of those where they kill him off that early? But no. Yeah. I was curious about that too.
Yeah, you find out Ellen been sleepwalking, and
yeah.
the doctor's like trying to say reasons why like that'll help her. He says that she should start sleeping in a corset, and then if that doesn't help, tie her to the bed. Which I was like, what the fuck?
Well, see, back in those days, those doctors just gave you cocaine and just told you to sleep it off.
Well, I mean, later on they put
He
something.
literally ethers her like right after that. Yeah.
See, I
Whatever
thought it was
early version of
chloroform.
chloroform that is.
Yeah.
And then the movie, I wrote this movie is very sexual because this is when she's like moaning about Nosferatu again.
Yeah, she's moaning, "Come to me again," and the doctor just pours some chloroform and just puts it right over her face.
And then I wrote, wait, Thomas isn't dead. I don't know.
Yeah, we cut back to him waking up and he's like, oh shit, I got some more holes in my chest.
Yeah, he got bit and now he's
the dogs are coming after him.
He's chased by the dogs and he's he like runs out of a window and he's like over like a waterfall
and
or
he jumps into the water. I thought he fell, but like no, I think he like deliberately jumped to get the fuck out of there.
And then it cuts again to Ellen freaking out about Thomas and how they haven't heard anything from him.
Yeah, they're on the beach, her and
Frederick and Anna.
That's her name.
They're all talking, and he tries to convince everybody that, or Frederick is like, Thomas as well, it's going to be okay, even though like he doesn't know, he's just saying shit.
Yeah, because he hasn't heard from him either.
And then you find out that the baby that he's going to have is also named Frederick. Because they said Frederick like multiple times, and that's going to be his baby's name too.
Junior.
Yeah, they call him Little Freddy.
Yeah. Little Freddy Yeti.
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr.? Oh shit, it makes sense.
And then I just wrote, he be banging his wife, because he do be banging his wife.
Yeah, because he already has 2 girls.
You're trying to fucking make out with her in public.
But to be fair, after Deadpool and Wolverine, I get it, man. She's kind of hot.
Even bald.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the longest time, I didn't realize that was the same girl from Deadpool. Wolverine.
I remember her being in the movie, but I forgot she was till you said that. I was like, oh yeah, that is her.
I didn't realize it was her until it was like one scene she was laying down and it was like the side of her face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, that's that girl
Originally,
from Deadpool.
she looked like Heather Graham. And I was like, Heather Graham's in this? And I was like, oh no, that's her.
And then I leaned over to Kyle. I was like, man, she's kind of hard to recognize with hair.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I heard you over there. I was like, yeah, you're right. And then Ellen starts like having a fucking seizure in the water.
She has ghost sex on the beach.
Well, it was like a seizure, but it was also like thrusting at the same time.
Her legs were literally up in the air like...
Yeah, you're right. It was weird.
And I was like, bro, she having ghost sex on the beach.
I will give, what's her name? Something Rose Depp.
Lily Rose Depp.
Lily Rose Depp. She has like she's really good with like her body, the way she moves.
Yeah, because like later on she like arches her back. I was like, damn. She's like,
yeah, like,
I wrote a note about that.
Her acting is pretty good.
Agreed.
I will give her that for sure. And then it cuts to like somebody bringing you don't know who it is yet, but bringing like a crazy guy to the doctor.
Yeah.
The same doctor that's been seeing Ellen.
And then you find out it's Cock.
Knock.
You find out because they say that somebody killed 3 sheep and is eating them. And I wrote, is it Thomas? And then I put, oh, it's just the old dude. And then he's got birds in his cell somehow.
He's like petting a bird.
He's like, oh, he likes the pretty ones.
And then he starts munching on the head.
Yeah,
he's about to, and then he stops. He's like,
he says he serves the lordship. He is infinity with shining eyes. And then he eats the bird's head. And then the security guard dude like goes to pull out his club, like he's gonna beat that dude's ass. And I put beat his ass with the club. Make me like this movie. He does not beat the fucking dude's ass. Because at this point, I'm like really against this movie. Like I'm so fucking bored.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And then I want to hurt him. And then he keeps talking about how somebody is coming. I wrote "come" incorrectly, like the sex wave.
I didn't this time. I just put he's coming, but I did write it again.
And then he attacks the doctor, and I put Bird Guy as Thomas's boss. That's when I put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, there we go.
And then that's when he gets beat with a club.
And then he gets old dude attacks the doctor, and then he gets his ass
and
beat.
they put him in one of those straight chairs where he's like tied to it. I thought it was gonna get electric chair.
I did too,
but then I was like, oh no, that's just one of those things they would put crazy people in to like hold them, I guess.
And then it cuts back to Ellen having seizures
again. I put
while sleeping.
More ghost sex.
And the doctor's there talking to Frederick, so he didn't die from Bird Guy.
Yeah, cuts to Frederick playing with the pool balls and grabbing a smoke. And I wrote Hang Knock is the old man. Hang Knock. So I don't know. We'll just go with Knock.
His first name was Hang?
I think it's like...
And his last name was Knock?
Well, on
That's hilarious.
IMDb, he's only listed as Knock.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, if his name was literally like Hang Knock, like on a door, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Knock is the old man. He's mad. He is coming. I spelled coming wrong again. And then I wrote lady with sticks. Oh, yeah, because there's like a lady carrying sticks, and she finds Thomas from where he jumped, because it cuts again incredibly abruptly.
Yeah. I'm glad you had that, because I didn't have that in my notes at all. I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, I just put pants to
Kinda
people in
forgot about
robes
that subplot.
carrying Thomas.
Yeah.
And then pants back to Doctor and Fred.
Yeah, and then this is when they start talking about the Swiss specialist doctor guy,
Yeah.
who's played by Willem Dafoe. I didn't catch his name, because I think it was like really long.
I only wrote him down as Professor.
Yeah.
Or specialist. Because in my notes at the beginning, I just put specialist. But also, I think there's a scene somewhere in there before that.
Franz. Von
Franz.
Franz.
Oh, that's cool.
That's Willem Dafoe's character.
Well,
And
before that, there's also a scene where, like, you kind of realize that Nosferatu's on the boat now.
Well, yeah, because it pans back to the people doing that prayer ritual on Thomas, and then it pans to the
it's
ship.
like a lot happens, like,
it's like back to back.
Yeah.
Like, you find out about Zurich.
I just have it on my notes, so I wanted to put it in there because I think it comes up again later.
Franz, you find out about him.
Professor.
They talk about how he got kicked out of the university and was laughed at because he was obsessed with like the occult and all that bullshit.
Right.
And then it shows the people with Thomas. Thomas is lost in Orlok's shadow. That's what they say. I'm ready for this movie to be over.
Well, that's kind of important because it's like because he's lost in Nosferatu's shadow because he was with Ellen first,
Yes.
quote unquote. So that's kind of important, I guess.
And now we're on a boat. Orlok is on the boat. He's coming to Ellen.
That was good.
And Thomas knows it, confirmed. And then also you find out that fucking Orlok apparently can control the weather because he's saying that it needs to start fucking storming so that he can get there quicker.
Yeah.
And it like immediately starts fucking storming.
Because remember when you go back to Thomas, he's talking about how he has to leave, but the girls are like, you're safe here because he can't cross whatever. But he's like, no, I got to get to Ellen because he's coming for Ellen. Yeah. He's coming for Ellen.
He's coming. And then Knock gets the chair, but he doesn't actually get the chair. He's just in that chair.
It's almost like a stockade, but for sitting.
And then I wrote down how uncomfortable the movie theater chair was. And then this is whenever you
come to
meet
the boat, and they're talking about how the cargo is cursed because people are getting sick.
Well, first you meet Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, you're good. Like I said, it all happens at once.
It's all back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's also a scene in that whole thing where Thomas steals a horse and gets the fuck out of there.
Right, yeah, because after he's like, she's coming for him, and he's like, all right, he leaves anyway.
Yeah, man, like, this is one of the things I didn't like about this movie, because all three of those things literally happen in like 5 minutes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, you meet Willem Dafoe, you find out he fucking likes cats, pussy marijuana, and then he's an old fuck who's apparently dying, but he's excited to see his old student, and then he immediately somehow knows about Ellen. He like guesses all this shit off the cuff at Frederick. He's like, oh, you've come here about a woman? Probably like a long lost thing?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. And then Thomas steals a horse, and then we're on the fucking boat again.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. That's why, like, leaving, I'm like, I should probably watch this again.
Yeah.
Because how the fuck am I going to form an opinion on this when it's just beating my fucking dick hole in, you know?
With jump cuts.
With jump cuts. I'm tired. My fucking ass hurts. I've been up since 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
I mean, shit. Hell.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That's hilarious.
I used to edit for Macho Burger Productions, and I know we had $0 in that budget, and we could afford some goddamn transitions.
Well, it's like, I feel like...
I'm not asking for a goddamn Star Wars screen wipe, but something. Yeah, fucking hell.
Something. Like a fucking fade out or something, bro.
Oh, shit.
I mean, goddamn. And then, on the boat, everybody starts getting sick.
Yeah.
So apparently, Nosferatu is also the plague.
Well, that's the whole thing I like about. We'll get to it later. I have a whole note about it, but like that's the whole point. Is like he's using the rats to make it look like it's the plague, but it's not. It's him.
Oh,
yeah.
He did have rats in his coffin.
Like that was the whole. I think that was like the whole point was.
Well, also
when did
to spoil in my note for later, when they crash into the thing, all the rats come out. I think that was the whole point, was they wanted them to think it was the plague. When
did the Black
he kind
Plague
of slid
end?
under the radar. When what?
When did the Black Plague end?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I feel like it's already ended by the 1800s, but it might not have, because I feel like it was like whenever we started to urbanize, whenever everybody starts getting sick because nobody knows how to do anything.
It ravaged Europe between 1347 and 1351.
Oh,
Okay,
there you
so
go.
yeah.
See, it's been like 500 years.
Oh yeah.
But I guess it's just because they're known to carry diseases. Maybe it's some sort of. I guess they think it's some sort of undiagnosed sickness they don't know about yet.
Yeah.
But also,
Anyway.
this is when I put in my notes the last voyage of the Demeter did it better.
I did think about that.
Because there were so many callbacks to it. I was like, it actually, yeah.
But yeah, we're on the boat again, and then they think it's the plague, like I said. They're like, the ship is cursed, and then it goes back to Frederick.
Yep.
So there's all these characters you got to keep up with. Once again, this is like 7 minutes
Yeah.
at most time spent.
Because there's multiple times in this where I leaned over to Dylan. I was like, it's a little later, but it's like I leaned over to Dylan after one thing. I'm like, dude, I don't know how I could take notes on this when it's like fucking bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, dude.
I know, but I'm sitting there fucking the whole time.
Yeah, I'm over there trying to play by play commentary this
Yeah,
morning.
no
I'm just
shit.
like, what the fuck?
Like fucking, that's like they're fucking yelling. Now they're fucking.
Now they're fucking and yelling, now they're
Yeah.
yelling, now they're just fucking.
Yeah. And then Willem Dafoe, Von Franz,
yeah.
walks into a room, and he goes, untie this child at once.
Yeah.
Talking about Ellen. That's a grown woman.
Yeah.
She's like 24.
She's like, Frederick, what the hell did you tie her up for? It's like, bro, she was acting crazy.
The doctor told me to tie her up.
But I appreciate that Von Franz immediately walks in, starts talking about the kitty cat.
Yeah, he's like, oh, kitty.
Because bro loves the kitties.
Yeah.
Bro, same.
Pussy, 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 marijuana.
And then also you find out that the doctor's name is Dr. Stevens here. That's when I finally wrote his name
I
down.
only referred to him as just as doctor.
I never got it.
And
at
then,
all.
Sievers.
Yes.
alright, well that's like,
Okay, I do remember that. I just never wrote it down, but I do remember his name being that.
Yeah,
'cause I remember
Dr.
hearing it a lot,
Dr. Wilhelm Sivers.
but I never wrote it down.
He created the Wilhelm screen.
oh,
No.
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was his name's Wilhelm.
Oh, I was getting hung
This
up
is
on
the
the
1800s.
I was hung up on the Sievers part. That's my bad. I thought he was talking about Sievers.
And then she,
And then you kind of find out she's kind of psychic because she knew when her parents would die.
and she knew about what she's going to get for Christmas.
Yeah, she always knew what her
specifically
presents were
says
going to
that?
be. Yeah, so like I guess her link with Nosferatu has some sort of fucking, I don't know.
Then my next note says when she got older, she needed fuck to keep the bad dreams away. I don't know.
What? Say that again?
She needed company, I think is what she actually says.
Oh, okay.
To keep the bad dreams away, and I put she needed... Basically, like, her getting with Thomas is what got rid of the bad.
Yeah, because I feel like, I guess they kind of explain it. We'll talk about it a little bit. Like, I guess she was just like a lonely kid, and I guess she was just praying to like anybody who would listen.
Yeah, just
And
for
I
some
guess
company.
somehow Nosferatu's like, bet I'm in there.
And then she starts saying sin a lot, how she's a sinner.
Well, I think because that's when we realized she was getting fucked.
Like, Nosferatu was clapping her cheeks
Yeah,
from the
and
grave.
then that's when her dad found
Yeah.
her. He's like, oh, you're sinning.
And then,
And then he died apparently.
she's in a weird trance.
Yeah.
Yeah, her eyes
Apparently,
all
I
back.
have sharp elbows.
Yeah.
You
That
have
note was
sharp-
way earlier, but
Yeah.
like the way he was taking notes, his elbow was like right here, and it was like digging in, like right here, like all.
Oh yeah,
the-
bro. I was just
But like,
sitting there like
that's why like when I would take notes, I would be like this.
Because Kyle was hiccuping a lot, and I was like, "Hey man, you hiccuping a lot," and he said, "Well, yeah, let me show you this."
And I showed him the note where I put he had sharp elbows, and I was like to complete that game.
And it got me a good chuckle out of it, so I wanted to add it into the pod. She's in a trance.
And then either her or Nosferatu, just in my notes, I put "You are coming to me."
Yeah, freaking and shit. Well,
Yeah, I don't
you
know,
what I'm
man.
saying?
It was getting
More-
weird.
more-
This was the one where I'm like, and then they're fucking, and then she's doing a weird voice, and then she's fucking arching her back. A lot was happening.
A lot was happening.
Here's my notes for this. I put more sexual moaning, sexual
Yep.
moan talking.
Yep.
She arches the back for Nosferatu.
She arched reverse way.
Yeah.
I was
She
like,
was
whoa.
freaky, dude.
She's arching the back for Shiki.
And she's talking about blood, talking about how like there will be blood, basically.
And
not,
then-
not
Yeah, and then,
slurp it up. Movie.
She's enduring the night specter of death. He spreads his shadow. I wrote that down.
That was
She was
cool.
spreading something.
Exorcism-like moves she geeking.
Somehow,
Bro knows she's cursed and possessed by a demon.
Yeah. Professor's like, yeah, she's possessed, homeboy.
And then he says he's got to study and try to figure out how it got intertwined with her.
yeah.
And he's like, no, don't knock her out anymore. You
No-
gotta
no
let her
more-
get it out of her.
Don't
And
fucking
if-
tie her
he's
up
like,
anymore.
He's like, what if she freaks out? He's like, let her fucking freak out. We can't have
Yeah,
her.
bro. He's like, what if she keeps raving? And he says, just let her rave. And I wrote, she's got to rave.
And then like Aaron Taylor Johnson's like, yeah, that's when Aaron. He's the one who's like, Frederick's the one who's like, we tie her up for her own safety. He's like, no, you can't do that no more.
And then it cuts back to the boat, which thank God it's finally.
Well, everyone also tries to dispute Professor's claims of.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's a fucking demon. And like,
Yeah, they just start arguing.
No,
They're
it's
like,
got to be
no.
about Thomas being away. He's like, no, it's a fucking demon.
No, it's a fucking demon.
Listen, fuckface.
And
I
then
will fuck your face.
you find out it goes back to the boat again, which I'm just grateful that it finally slowed the pace down a little bit, and we
Yeah.
finally got some scenery and some fucking.
And then that's when the guy on the boat, it's like, they throw another body overboard. He's like, all right, the guy on the boat's like, I'm going to fucking end this. He goes down there to the cargo, opens the coffin. That's when you see all the rats.
It's cool though because
I
like
put boat boy.
Boat. Yeah, because he doesn't have a name.
he's got like the lantern. It's like kind of going around. You can kind of see Nosferatu.
And then you see
behind
Nosferatu in
him.
the background. He didn't notice him. Like, bro, I was like, that was because I remember I let out a little chuckle. I was like, he's right there.
Yeah.
And then he opens it. You see the rats, and then Nosferatu comes behind him. And I put in my notes about Nosferatu feet.
I put there's something down there moving, brother.
Brother.
And then Orlok
This
is
little boy
fucking him up. And then you go back to Knock,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
he's like his
Foaming
chair,
at the
His chair
mouth.
fell over.
chairs
Chair
fell
falling in the
over, he's
mouth.
foaming at the mouth.
Foaming about geeking out is what I
He's
put.
yelling.
And then there's a really cool moment with the camera I liked where it was straight and then it was sideways because he was like sideways tipped over in the chair and then it like flips
Yeah.
straightway. I was like, it was a really cool fucking camera spin. I liked.
And he says he has arrived.
Yeah.
I put he has come and I spelled it the fun way.
And he keeps saying blood is for life.
Oh, yeah, right after that too. That's when you cut to Lily.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
go
that's
ahead.
the
Do
Ellen.
your thing first. Ellen,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
My bad. But
Lily
what were
Rose
we saying?
Ellen, it's literally the same person.
Yeah.
We
But
saw
what were you
it.
saying? What were you saying? You said something before.
He kills like the orderly or whatever. He
Yeah,
like
yeah.
bites into him.
Yeah,
and,
and then he escapes basically.
then he escapes, and
And
then
then Thomas is back.
Yeah,
on a
that's what
horse.
because that's why I put in my notes. He has come. She's like, he's come. And
Yeah,
then,
he
and then
also-
but then you think he's talking about
You think he's talking about
but then
Nosferatu.
you realize Thomas gets back.
He also falls off the horse. I put Thomas dies.
Question mark?
yeah, I wrote Ellen also says he is here and runs off, but she's talking about Thomas, who is also there all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like Thomas warns her about Nosferatu coming and passes out, and then like they're all inside like Frederick's house.
Yeah, Frederick's kind of freaking out. Like, really, this is what my life's come to.
And then somebody knocks on the door, and the little girls are going, "Papa, Papa!" again, and it's like cops, I guess, like old school cops
Yeah.
or like military guard dudes.
Yeah.
And then I just wrote cops, boat, dead motherfuckers, lots of
Yeah.
rats.
And then this was another thing I thought about with the Voyage of the Demeter, because it's the same thing where like it crashes into the shore, and everyone's like, "Oh, where'd this ship come from?" And then that's when the rats come out.
Plague ship.
It's also 3 a.m.
3 a.m. in the morning.
Because Frederick's like, it's 3 a.m. What are you guys
I was
doing?
like, who the fuck's knocking on my door? It's like, oh shit. And then that's when I put in my notes. Nosferatu brought rats, so they would think that it was the plague and not him.
That's
And I was like, that's kind of smart.
that is smart. I like that. I didn't even put that together.
And then never let him know your next move.
And then Knock is on a and I think, and I didn't catch it, but in hindsight, whenever Knock's on that rowboat going towards the house, he has Nosferatu's coffin, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. See, I didn't realize that.
I didn't either. It took me a minute.
And then also, he's going to the house from the beginning, right? That's totally the house from the beginning, right?
Well, no, he's going to the manor he bought.
Yeah, but it's like the same house, right?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure
house.
it's the one that
they
what's her
show
fuck
at the
was
very
that?
beginning
that
of
it
the movie?
shows. Pretty sure it's the same house.
So is that where she used to live?
I guess.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, but like I'm pretty sure it's the same house.
Yeah,
But either way, go ahead.
I also put Knock as being a simp for Nosferatu.
Yeah.
He is.
This is when I start calling him Igor, because he's basically just Igor.
He's
Or
telling him how he
Renfield,
wants to
kinda,
be
basically.
used.
Yeah, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
fucking line.
And then I wrote, "I hate these fucking chairs, man."
Yeah, I put in my notes that Nosferatu moves into the neighborhood.
He punches the fuck out of the old dude too.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking awesome. And then I wrote, "I have no idea what this motherfucker's saying half the time, talking about Nosferatu."
Yeah, because he was like, it's that growl talk he does. I'm like, what is this guy on about?
What is he on about? And then I put something about coming and tasting.
Yeah, because the only thing I remember from that scene was him saying, I want you to...
He's like, I'm talking about how he's come, and now he gonna taste her. And I'm like, damn, son.
Respect.
You a madman for that one.
Trying to get that nut, I guess.
Oh, he gets that nut.
Yeah, he does. Foreshadowing. And then we cut back to
the
Frederick's house.
Yeah, because it pans to the next morning. And
Was
then
that foreshadowing?
What?
I guess it was.
No, he was foreshadowing because he said, oh, he gets that nut. And I said, oh.
Oh, okay.
He was
I
foreshadowing.
thought you were talking about the coming and the tasting. I was like, I mean, kinda.
I mean, kind of. Either way, it still works.
And then it pans to the next morning. You see all these rats just running through the streets.
Yeah.
And then it pans to Ellen and Thomas.
And Ellen's just all of a sudden okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, she's like snuggling up, and he's like, I can't breathe.
I think that was part of Nosferatu's plan, though, was like maybe to make her to stop giving her weird dreams and shit, to like make it seem like she was better now.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know, to like gaslight Frederick and Anna. I guess I don't know.
It was just a whole thing.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe she's making the whole thing up.
But I will give this movie credit because it's definitely like it's starting to pick up now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Thomas has seen something awful. They talk about Christmas. How apparently like we're right at Christmas.
It's Christmas time, yeah. Anna says that, I think.
And then they talk about how the ship brought plague. The plague.
For fuck's sake, it's Christmas.
For fuck's sake, come on, Nosferatu. For fuck's sake, it's Christmas.
And then it shows the doctor and von Strauss looking at a dead body, and as they're talking about how it has like weird marks on it.
Yeah, and that's the plague.
And it's like no blood.
But then Franz is like, look at this bite. There's like no fucking plague in here. It's just a big fucking bite with a big fucking teeth mark. He's like, that's not the plague. He figures it out quick. He's like, but the doctor's like, no, it's the plague. And he's like, no, it's not.
And then he starts asking about knock.
Yeah, this is where I wrote down Tom's boss's name is Knock. That's what I wrote.
That did take a while.
And,
they weren't really good about saying names here.
They really weren't, dude.
Dude, they introduced Frederick and do not say his name for a long time.
Yeah, I thought that was like his.
Well,
brother
they
at
did say his
first.
name because that's how I picked up on one of his pretty quick, because then when they were at the house before he even left, that's when I picked up his name.
Really?
So like, yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised I got his name, but I didn't get Thomas's till later.
Yeah, that's crazy to me because I feel like they say Thomas. I guess we just were picking him up at different times.
Yeah, it's like one of my first notes at the beginning was Frederick is going to look after Ellen.
And then Willem knows something is going on. This is no mere plague.
And then it pans back to Ellen and Thomas, and they're sleeping, and Thomas can't breathe. So he
Not,
just
well, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have, because I do have Thomas and Ellen like where they're in the bed. But before that, it's
Kids?
no.
Okay.
No.
It's
I know
the,
it's coming up with what he's talking about.
it's the cool Orlok shot
Because it's one of those things where it happens like one after the other again.
because he's like looking out of like the manor.
Oh yeah,
he
that is
bought,
pretty cool. Yeah.
And it shows him like reach out his hand, and his hand like takes over the
it's
whole
one of the shots in
city.
the trailer too. I remember that were like it was fucking cool. It looked cool.
Yeah, I just want to point that out because
I think that's because then it like hovers over their house.
Yeah.
And then that's when he can't breathe, which I thought was really cool transition.
for
That's
me,
the one transition they actually had.
for me bashing this movie, I mean I don't think I really bashed it.
Well, like
but,
we were talking about artsy fartsy, there are times when it really is artistic, like that camera spin.
but
I
that shit was
talking
cool,
about, like,
man.
yeah.
Like that was a really
there
cool
are times
transition.
when it's really artistic, yeah, and cool.
But I just wanted to really point it out. But then, like what you were saying, Dylan,
like he can't breathe, so he just kind of just throws.
He's like, got me. It was funny as hell.
yeah, man. I mean,
And she's like, huh? And then that's when she goes to Anna's like, can I see what you... Well, before that, I think that's when we cut somewhere to the kids saying
it
that.
shows little kids
the
doing the prayer. Yeah, because I have 2 quotes from each of my boys.
Yeah.
And I wrote down, Kyle said, bro, these kids are so fucking dead.
Yeah. Well, because the way they start praying, I'm like, bro, these kids are going to get it.
And then they start saying the Lord's Prayer, and Dylan says, fucking Inner Sandman, bro.
They're doing the same prayer.
Yeah, because like as they were doing the prayer, I was like, "Hush, little baby." Never mind that know you heard.
Because like they're doing it really creepily, like the fucking Grady twins. Like it's very creepy.
Yeah.
And then that's when we cut to Anna in the hallway after she puts him to
Yeah,
bed.
with the candle.
And then that's when we get this we could put this really cool jump scare.
It's a jump scare with Ellen behind her.
She's
Yeah.
like, hey, it's like, what the fuck? And then she's like, because this is after Thomas threw her off. She's like, can I sleep with you?
If that was me, I would have rocked her because we all know a violent scare.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
My mom almost got rocked that one time.
Dude.
The first time she met you, you're like, Dylan.
Yeah, dude, I almost rocked her. I almost fucking
And then it cut like it shows them laying in bed. And
But
telling
I do like that where she's like you can tell she's kind of scared of Thomas. She's like, can I sleep with you? Thomas is freaking me out.
And whenever they were laying there, that's when I realized it was the same girl from Deadpool. I was like, oh man, it's kind of hard to recognize her when she has hair.
And they talk about how like they love and care about each other, like they're friends or whatever. Yeah. It's a nice little scene.
Friendship.
And then it shows Frederick is with von Strauss now, the professor, and Frederick's talking about how he hasn't slept in days. And then von Strauss is like, I've seen shit you don't even know about. Darkness exists.
I leaned over to him and I go, I seen it.
And then he finally says
the name of the movie.
Nosferatu.
He said the name of the movie.
What's the name of the movie?
Yeah, I said, oh shit, he finally said the name. And then it shows Ellen sleepwalking again.
And she's talking to Orlok.
Yeah. Stop fucking coughing. Person that was coughing in the movie theater. She opens the window, but then Orlok is like inside all of a sudden.
No, he's inside alright.
He's coming inside.
And then she felt him. She says she felt him crawling like a serpent in her body. And this is when he keeps telling her about how like she's not of humankind. She awoke him.
Oh.
And then this is when he starts talking to her about how like Frederick like sold her to him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he sold you for 1 sack of coin.
Yeah. Which
Thomas?
like he didn't know.
Thomas, yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Thomas. And then she's like, you're a deceiver. And he's like, you deceive yourself. And I was like, word?
Motherfucking gaslight everybody.
And then he tells her how, like, her passion is bound to him. And then, like, they're like about to smooch, bro. He's about to
Yeah,
get
look
it.
right there. That's when he's like, you have to. He says it earlier too with Knock too, but this is where he kind of confirms like you have to. I need you to willingly resubmit to me or whatever.
Yeah, she declines.
Because of her being with Thomas now, she has to recommit herself to him willingly, and then she's like, nah, I ain't doing it.
Yeah,
and he throws her on the fucking ground.
Yeah, she declines and he is pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's like, he gives her like the 3-night rent.
Yeah, he says
he's
that
like, you have 3 nights to submit, or Thomas and everybody you love. I'll kill Thomas and everybody you love.
Yeah, he's gonna kill the ones she loves.
This night is night 1.
This is night 1. Night 2 is gonna be crazy. Night 3, I'm coming back. You
it
better say yes.
It felt like night 3 took 6 nights to get to.
Agreed. There's another one of those.
There's one thing I want to point out after night 2 that does really throw me through a loop.
Yeah. Okay.
But and then she wakes up and Anna's like laying there covered in rats.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
she's getting bit.
And then he tells her like there's gonna be 2 more nights, and he kind of like shadows off and disappears.
Shadow fucks off.
Yeah. And then I thought, oh no, Anna is dead. Did it kill her baby? Maybe not. I don't know. And then, because it's like the next day, and Anna's like still alive. She's talking to Frederick, like she's okay.
Yeah.
She's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, Frederick's
there.
And he kicks Ellen and Thomas out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, Aaron Taylor Johnson is more of a villain in this movie than he ever was in Craven.
He really was.
He says he's gonna pray for Thomas, and then he like Ellen's like sitting there, and she looks at him and she goes, "Why do you hate me?" And I put Sarah at me every day, also me at myself every day. And then he just kind of starts like fucking roasting her ass about like I guess the way she acts.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, like I know she can't help it, but you know he probably just thinks it's like hubby bubby bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, so he's like, you need to find like.
Well, this bitch is really possessed by a demon.
You need to like tighten up and find dignity.
To quote Kanye, find God.
Find God.
And then she calls him stupid and cruel.
Yeah.
And he says he's getting her a coach and paying for it, and he hopes she conducts herself better for her husband's sake. And it's like, damn, bro, that's rough.
That is rough.
And then it cuts to Von Franz and the doctor, Sephiroth.
Yeah, just call him
Sephiroth. What?
But just call him Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor. And they're looking in Knox's office because they had talked about earlier that they need to go like find him.
Yeah, and that's when they pull up the rug, and that's when you see the.
They find the symbol, and they
Yeah.
also find a codex, like some kind of like book, and he calls it a codex. And
Then you see them like walking home, I think.
Yeah.
Like, walking the streets, and you see like the streets are like fucking carriages overturned, rats everywhere.
Yeah, you see Ellen and Thomas walking
There's
home.
this one guy reciting Revelations, the book of Revelations in the street, talking about dragons coming from hell. I was like, damn.
And then it cuts to Frederick being back with Von Stranz again, and he's like, he's telling him how he like sent them home, like he sent Ellen and Thomas home.
It was a weird like back and forth. Yes, I sent them home, because he thinks he's talking about something, and it's like, no, yes, I sent them home.
And he's yelling at him, and he was like, "What do you mean you don't know what to do?" And he's like, "I've never countered Nosferatu in person before."
Like, bro, it's my first time, bro. I've only heard of the legend.
He's like, "Bro, I've never experienced it."
And then he has one of the coldest lines I wrote verbatim because it was fucking great. He says he's talking to Frederick. He says the night demon has sucked from your good wife's blood, and I was like, that's a hard fucking line, bro.
Yeah.
And they will return for the rest.
That could be the name of a metal song. God damn.
But yeah, he's doing.
The night demon.
During this, they're talking about like Nosferatu must return to where it was first buried.
Yep.
Frederick he says,
And
I
then
am
he drops-
shattering and losing my mind.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then Frederick kicks out the professor and doctor. He's
Yeah.
like, "Yo, get the McFuck out of here."
And then after that, it cuts to Thomas and Ellen again, and I wrote, Thomas is sweaty.
Yeah, and I
she's
wrote,
like,
I heard you lean over to me. You were like, this is like the third time I've wrote that.
the motherfucker was sweaty the whole movie.
she basically just trauma dumps on him.
Dude,
Yeah.
this scene pissed me off.
She admitted that it was her fault, and then that's when I'll let you seem to have an agenda here. I'll let you take over.
Well, I don't know if I have an agenda.
That sounds like you do.
I feel like she was very toxic about this.
Oh, extremely toxic about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but
like-
they were kind of toxic to each other, I think, in a way.
I think so too, but it's like she tells him that like it's her fault, and then like he tries to like comfort her, and then she like pushes him away,
She's like, "Don't touch me."
and it's like, don't touch me. I did this, but don't touch me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because like
You
she's
know?
mad that he stopped writing her, but I was like, Buddy was getting his fucking soul sucked.
I put in my notes, how can I write letters while I'm getting my soul sucked?
And then she starts screaming and knocking shit over, and he tries to leave, and she comes back to normal, and then
She's like,
she,
"Wait, please don't leave me."
Well,
And,
she
like-
fucking like seizes up again.
yeah.
And then she like, rips her shirt.
She falls. She like rips her shirt, falls to her knees, and like starts like humping his leg.
And
Yeah,
now
she's like,
she-
"Don't leave me, please."
She's like got like her tongue out and shit, and her eyes
Yeah.
are all fucked up
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he goes to like, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna get
I'm
the
fucking
fuck
leaving.
out of here.
And that's when she, like, drops to her knees.
Comes back normal, and she has like her face like right at his dick bowl.
Yeah, I put.
She's like licking. She's like, "Ah."
She's looking at it, and then she literally says, you can never please me like he did." And I just put brutal.
I wrote, oh, she in dick sucking range. And then he picks,
Nosferatu got that good schlong. I
and then
guess.
she says that, and bro just picks her up, and he starts banging out his wife.
Yeah.
And I said, oh man, he's gonna fuck his wife. Hell yeah, he's fucking his wife. You know what I mean? Fuck yeah, bro.
It was so great. He said it twice.
I was like dapping myself up for my boy. I was like, you fuck your wife, bro.
This motherfucker's having the cuck chair experience.
I guess to an extent, bro.
And then when they're done, she cries.
Yeah, man. I mean, and then her face, like, there's like a weird shot of like her face where it starts like bleeding out of her eyes and her mouth.
Yeah.
Then he like jumps off over her, like post nut clarity real fast. It was wild.
He's like, I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I just busted. Now I'm scared.
He's like, I love you. I'm sorry. And then they embrace.
Post not clarity.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I'm
And
saying.
then like they embrace, and that's when they realize they gotta figure it out.
I guess the sex was a nightmare thing.
But then she starts telling him to leave her alone again, and Thomas is like, "That's it. I'm killing Nosferatu.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm killing this motherfucker.
I'm gonna get this motherfucker.
I'm gonna kill him for you, and I'm killing for me, and I'm gonna kill him for my dick.
Yeah, because I like it."
And then we're gonna get freaky, and then he doesn't get to get freaky.
And then it comes back to Von Strahn's opening the codex, and this is when I finally put together that Nosferatu is the plague kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
And like I guess it's like a tale of Nosferatu from back in the day.
Yeah.
Where like the only way to do it is to like trick him basically.
We basically find out that Ellen I took it as Ellen has to sacrifice herself.
Yeah.
And then it shows another hard cut immediately after that.
This was really jarring. I liked that I was right, but it was a weird cut to go straight to this. It was weird.
And then Frederick and you're on night 2 now. Frederick and Anna are in bed, and the little girls are screaming.
Yeah.
And Anna like tries to get Frederick to get up. He's like sleeping with a fucking gat on him.
Well, also there was I saw that, but there was also earlier he's talking about how when he was talking to Strong, he's like, I haven't slept in fucking 3 days.
Slept, yeah.
So like I guess he was just really fucking tired. But he wasn't waking up when she was like, wake up. But
And
yeah,
then-
it was cool. He had
Wake up!
He had a fucking gat in his hand.
He had a gat in his hand, bro. He's
Yeah.
fucking ready, bro.
He's ready. Well,
Well,
He had that one shot, baby.
But
You
then
know.
he wasn't ready. I guess he missed his chance to blow.
you only get one shot.
Opportunity came once in a lifetime, and he missed it.
And then Anna runs in. Anna walks in to the little kid's room, and Nosferatu's there. Fucking got kids in each hand,
Yeah, he's like,
just fucking munching.
like fucking chowder.
I wrote, Kyle was right.
I was like, these kids are fucking dead.
And then
I leaned over and I was like, damn, he Anakin'd them. Just fucking slaughtered those
And
kids.
then I whispered to him, I was like, do you think that prayer they said earlier helped them?
No.
Do you think they got to keep their soul?
It helped them for one night.
Yeah.
And then Nosferatu kills Anna. So this is my problem. How fuck this dude get a funeral arranged and done
That's why I was
the
saying.
very next day?
That's why I was saying like night 3 it took 6 nights to get
Yeah.
to. They had like a whole fucking funeral.
They had a whole fucking like caskets built, arrangement.
And those caskets were not fucking cheap. They were like fucking quadruple decker caskets.
They were huge. And it's like, bro, you just had them laying around. I mean, I get it, like it's the old times, but it's not that long ago.
Right.
You know, like we're not just killing over
Like,
as much.
Because if that's night 2, you telling me the third day you have that shit ready to go?
Yeah, unless they just didn't do any like preparation of the body. They just
they didn't
threw
embalm
in
it or
a-
nothing
They just
like
threw it in
that,
a
like
fucking
it.
box.
yeah, but still, like,
Which explains later why he's fucking his dead corpse. So, I mean, like, maybe they didn't embalm it. What the fuck do I know?
and then, you know, little kid caskets.
Embalming has been around since 26 BCE. So I mean,
Yeah, because like even the fucking Egyptians took out the fucking organs and like
so
shit,
I mean, like, how did they do that in one fucking day?
yeah, what the fuck?
It
I
takes
will
them-
say though, has nothing to do with it really, but bro's funeral drip was next level.
Oh yeah, bro. This is what I told him. I'm like, because he mentioned his hats earlier. Then I saw his hat for the funeral with the fucking white stripe. I was like, bro,
Yes.
this
Whenever they were
this
at-
motherfucker got cool hats.
When they were at the beach, he had that fucking pimp cane and he had the fucking Willy Wonka hat.
Yeah, he did.
And at the funeral, he has like another fucking cool ass hat.
Yeah, dude. And then, like, bro, Ellen hits a hard bar here. She says,
Oh yeah, I put this line down too.
I can weep no longer, for I have no more tears to shed. I was like,
fuck.
fuck.
Fuck you and your dead kids.
I was gonna write it, but I saw you typing it out. I was like,
Yeah. That's a fuck. Because I literally said, oh, that's a fire line.
And then you find out that Fredward is blaming Ellen
Fredward.
for the death of his
Yeah.
family at the funeral. And then they're like, no, it's not. You gotta calm down, bro.
It's your fault, dummy.
Yeah.
You should have woke up.
And then it cuts.
Because like Thomas is also like, hey man, these nightmares. Hey, pans to his little like chest wound.
These
He's
are
like,
fucking real, dude.
Nightmares are real, bro.
And
You
then
wouldn't last one day in my nightmares.
And then they're all carriaged up. All 5 of our main characters, they're finally all together, so we
They're,
don't
like,
have
playing-
to worry about bullshit fucking cuts anymore.
Yeah, and they're planning out how to kill Nosferatu.
Yeah, I like that. And then
They're like, this is how we're gonna do it.
Thomas is like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. Iron stake this boy.
Yeah.
That's basically
Yeah.
what he says. And then I thought it was supposed to be wooden.
Yeah, me too.
And then they start talking about evil.
Well, I know that's like, I know certain things, like, not just Nosferatu, but like certain like weird occult things. Like that's how you do. You have to like stake them to where they were buried or something. I don't know, and then like die. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
There's some sort of occult.
I think it's
to
just
it.
different sometimes.
Yeah, but there's like different legends.
Because most vampires are usually wooden stakes and
Yeah.
garlic. You know. What
Wouldn't say it's garlic, holy water.
Yeah.
Holy water's a big one. I watched like 3 seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I know a thing or two.
Sun is a good one.
Well, yeah.
The Sun is also
Which
a good one.
I think
yeah.
in the original, which most vampires or Dracula stories, they don't really say anything about Sun. I think the very first Nosferatu is where they got that.
Yeah, because in this one they talk about how it's not really the sun, but if he doesn't go back to sleep in his some legends it's like the dirt he was born in or whatever, but as long as he's in his coffin during the day he's fine.
Yeah.
But like it's basically what this one does, where like if he's not in the coffin by daytime he dies, but it's not really the sun that does it. It's just like it's not being in a coffin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because in the Voyage of the Demeter he like has soil from his home country that he has to sleep.
Oh
in.
yeah.
Like he has to like be in the soil he was from his land in order to not get eaten up by the sun. It's weird.
And then Willem Dafoe, Von Strauss, and Ellen get out of the carriage because he like gets home or whatever.
Yeah.
And they start walking together. And this is whenever they like kind of talk about how like basically like, hey,
This is the real plan.
you gotta die.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry.
Like it starts and ends with you.
I put
Yeah.
Ellen must
Sacrifice.
Kill
she has to-
herself.
yeah. And then they say that like Ellen is their salvation basically.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not gonna work. You're gonna have to use Ellen.
they can't kill Nosferatu basically. Then they cut to Thomas and Ellen again, like right before Thomas is going on his conquest to fuck Nosferatu in the ass, you know,
With a metal stake.
with a metal stake.
Yeah.
And I noticed for the first time, Ellen has a very long neck.
Yeah.
Felt like I needed to write that down. So,
And then pans to like
Frederick.
yeah. Well, like they're like, oh, if we can't find Fred, he's
Oh, they
missing."
go to his
Yeah.
house first, and like
Yeah.
because they say Frederick go home. We're gonna come to you later, and then when they get there, like, oh, where's he at? Like, I
not
don't know.
there.
He left a while ago.
And then it pans to Fred at the cemetery, and he opens up Anna's coffin and starts kissing her.
Yeah. And
yeah, the boys go out to get their other boy Freddie in because it shows like a solid, pretty hard shot. Not gonna lie, of the boys running down the road.
Yeah.
And I said, "Boys being boys." You know? Yeah, he had the cemetery with his babies and his woman, and apparently he's like sick.
Yeah, because he was coughing while he was.
Yeah.
He had like a weird thing on the side of his face too.
So I guess maybe Nosferatu was eating him a little bit.
I wrote Freddy Party of 5, more like Freddy Party of 1. And I put hyphen Nosferatu. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Fuck you, dog. I'm taking your whole family." Hey. And then I wrote, "Is he gonna fuck his dead wife?" And then he started making out with his dead wife, and I just wrote, "Huh."
You said that, and I was like, yes.
Then the boys roll up to like the crypt that his family was buried in,
Yeah.
and Fredundo is now dead with his family.
Yeah, so I guess maybe Nosferatu got to him. I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I guess bro's just so sick he just keels over, like
Yeah,
busts a
I don't know.
nut, dies. Foreshadowing.
Or he offs himself.
That's true, because I
Fine,
mean,
okay.
he kept
Or-
that thing on him. We
Because
found
earlier,
out.
because when they're trying to figure out where he's at, Franz does say like, oh, he's very stricken with grief.
Yeah.
Or
So we
he
don't know what he
he
could
got
do.
off and the post-nut clarity talk made him Kill
He's
himself.
like, oh god, I just did that.
I just fucked my dead wife. Pa pa pa.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's got it all.
Yeah, for real.
It's got fucking what's that called?
Necrophilia?
Yeah.
Necrophilia. Yeah, thank you, Kyle.
That's in my notes. I literally put Frederick Necrophilia question mark.
And then
When they get there, they Steve, and then they burn the bodies.
they burn all the bodies. Thank you, Kyle. And then now they are going towards the ominous castle.
Yeah, because I put in my notes, the hunt has begun.
Well, they do like the same little like raft ride that Knock did with fucking the crypt from earlier.
Yep.
Is it a crypt, a coffin? It's like the same thing, right?
Crypt,
Basically.
coffin, tomb.
Because it's too big to be like a normal coffin, but it's like an old coffin, so I
Yeah.
don't really know the difference. Either way, I don't know. R.I.P. Fred, right? Man, fuck him. You're right. And then like Ellen's getting all like prettied up in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like it shows her like right after that, she's ready for bro. And then they get into like where the coffin would be. I feel like the movie starts to rush a little bit here.
Yeah.
By the way.
And there's like a bunch of fuck ton of rats.
There's a fuck ton of rats, and and then they go and they just kind of get in there, get straight to business. They bust that fucking casket open,
Yep.
and then they just start stabbing. And then you find out that it's Knock in the thing.
Yep.
Knock was in the crypt, and
Starts spouting a bunch of bullshit.
he starts talking about how
he fucking stabs his boss right in the chest.
Yeah.
he's talking about how he was gonna be the Prince of Rats. Immortal, but Nosferatu just wants Ellen. And then Von Strauss is like, we gotta burn the sanctuary. And Thomas is like, no, we can't waste time.
We gotta get to Ellen.
Nosferatu is banging out my wife as we speak.
Yeah, the professor was
He
pretty
didn't
much...
say that exactly, but
The professor was going a little crazy there. He's like,
yeah, dude, he just starts fucking throwing gasoline and shit.
he said, we're gonna burn it down.
And then he's like screaming, "The plague shall be lifted." He's like fucking going Green Goblin in this.
Burn it
bitch.
all down, Spider-Man.
You and me can run the city together.
And then it cuts back to Ellen, and she's dressed up as a bride.
Yep. And then Nosferatu, like, it's a really cool shot of the door opening up, too, and it opens to her with Nosferatu standing in the door.
Yeah, well,
It's like a POV shot.
and it's like a
kinda.
panning shot too to begin
Yeah.
with of like his. He's doing the little creep dance, bro,
Yeah.
and it's like his shadow in the fucking moonlight.
And then, like,
cool.
it's like his shadow opens the door. It was
Opens
cool
the door,
shit.
Yeah,
but
that's
then
cool.
it turns from like the outside or whatever.
And you see
it's-
her, and it's kind of like his POV.
Yeah,
It's fucking cool.
It is cool.
And then the camera kind of spins to see both of them in the frame there. And then he's like, do you submit? She's like, I do.
Yep.
She basically reconfirms the oath.
She accepts him on third night. Orlok trying to get Stanky on his hang down. Smooch,
Oh,
smooch.
He got
He got
fucking
Stanky on his hang down.
Hey, dude.
And then like they're like kissing, and then all of a sudden she naked on the bed, and I say
High five for boobs.
boobs. That's 3. And then he like kissing on her shoulder, and then he bites her in the middle of her chest, like where he bit Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right next to the nip. It's like, oh.
I
then-
put he makes very aggressive, passionate love to Ellen.
For real.
yeah,
And like the blood's dripping out of his fucking side of his mouth.
Yeah. And I put Nosferatu fucks.
yeah. And then the sun starts to come up, and then Thomas is sweaty and
And he's
running.
still running?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just running.
And my note for this says Thomas shows up as Nosferatu busts the meanest fucking nut of his life, killing both him and Ellen.
Yeah.
Imagine just busting in and just seeing that.
Yeah, like, god dang.
Like, how the fuck you gonna explain that?
It's like, I could explain.
I wrote, she probably gonna die too. Yeah, she died too. Shouts out Ellen. That's what I got.
And
I just put Miss Ellen and Nosferatu rip.
Yeah, I put Thomas closes her eyes and cries, and then Professor kind of just touches his shoulder.
Yeah, and the doctor's in the background too. And then it shows that Nosferatu doesn't really have legs. He's just got like skeleton legs.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder, what about his wiener?
Never skip leg day.
Like, is like just this part still flesh? So he's got a dong?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Because
These are questions we need answers to.
Yeah. And like Franz picks up the cat that he liked. He was like, "Oh yeah, the kitty survived."
Yep.
Yeah,
Picks up the cat and like looks out the window at the sun, and then the movie ends.
And he says her sacrifice freed them of the plague of Nosferatu.
Because he recites that passage from that book from the Codex again, where he's like,
oh yeah,
and her
yeah.
sacrifice ended the reign of Nosferatu. And then I just put the last shot of his legs. I was like, I guess she sucked the soul right back out of him.
Right back at it.
She hit him with that Uno reverse card, sucked his soul out through his legs.
They both died through the sex. Well, that was something.
That was a movie.
That is something else.
Who went last on ratings?
I don't remember. You just want to go first?
I give it a 6.
Why?
He
was like, I give it a 6. I was like, we usually kind of try to explain.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
fucking
know.
pulled a teacher on that.
Yeah.
Explain.
We usually do. I don't know. It's just he's like 6.
Why? Show me your fucking work, James.
How did you come to that assessment? I don't know.
Well, fuck, man. I guess
Oh no, they fucked. Yeah, we knew that.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because personally, the first 2/3 of that movie are boring as fuck, and the last third is good,
That's fair.
and I liked the last third. So I can't, in good conscience, give it a 7, knowing the other movies that I've given a 7 to.
That's fair.
Can't do it. So I'd say like a 6. Like it was all right. I mean, I would watch it again. I probably should watch it again. I would like to watch it again. Maybe I will change my opinion going into it a little more open-minded. Maybe in the comfort of my own home. Maybe I haven't worked all goddamn day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, for now, 6.
All right, cool. Now that you showed your work, that's the wrong answer. You get an F. I'm just kidding. I just want to keep the joke going. I get it. Now you get it.
Man, you get it.
I'm gonna go with a 7 because I even though it was boring at parts at the beginning, I did like what it was trying to set up, and also the theater experience was just fun. I had fun with my boys.
Yeah.
I can't get conscious give anything lower than a 7 at least, but that could definitely change. But like for now, I had a good time. Maybe on a rewatch, it'll stay the same. It's either gonna stay the same or go down. It's probably not gonna go up.
I'm dead in the middle. I was going 6.5.
Hell yeah, bro! We're on the same area. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just wanted to hear you guys' first, just to see like what you were going to give it compared to what he was going to give it, because I was going to be, no matter what I was going to give it, I was giving it a 0.5 or something.
Yeah.
Just
Hell
for
yeah.
the movie. But
And it's definitely not a 7.5.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't.
That's perfect.
I couldn't go higher than a 7. I was like, I don't want to go.
In retrospect, I should do 6.5, but I'll stick with a 7.
I'm going
Yeah.
6.5.
I like how we're all in the same ballpark.
But I agree with him a lot more. Though. It's super boring for most of
It
it.
is. I agree, but I liked what it was trying to do in the setup.
I mean, I understand that it was trying to set up this whole world,
Yeah.
but it's like at times it's so choppy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you know, you're gonna fucking, what's the word
Like-
here? You're gonna like skip over shit to get there quicker at the end whenever you could have done that some more in the other
beginning,
part.
yeah.
It felt like
It
they
fleshed
were,
out the ending a little
Yeah,
more.
the
flesh
way
it
they
out.
the way they pasted it and chopped it up. It seemed like they were trying to like squeeze in room for like a possible sequel, even though they just killed everybody off. They killed
Yeah.
everybody you would need for a sequel at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like they took a TV show's amount of shit and tried to cram it into a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
You know what I'm
that's-
saying?
yeah.
So like, I mean, don't get me, like I said, like I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It was an all right movie.
Yeah.
I would watch it again, but I'm not gonna give it anything higher than 6.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anybody got any more?
No, I think we used.
Oh hey, this is our second episode of 2025.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the
Special episode.
special episode yesterday that Jeff strung together for us.
Yeah.
Good guy Jeff.
Yeah.
Did real good.
Motherfucker doing double duty this week.
Double duty.
All right, well, that's been another Movie Juiced. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. You can follow us on Facebook at Movie Juice, Instagram at Movie Juice Pod, Twitter at Movie Juice Pod. We still got that coming soon. Website at www.moviejuicepod.com. If you have any suggestions for movies you want to see us watch in the future, or if you want to give us some info on movies the movies we have already watched, give us your ratings on those. Or if you have any suggestions for a logo, send them in and give us a review on there as well. Email us at moviejuicepod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you or hear your suggestions. All links can be found on our link tree, which is on all of our social medias. We are on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. And you can follow us all individually on Instagram and Twitter. Our handles are in the description below. We will be back next week with Batman Begins, starring Christian Bale, and that is from 2005. It's the first one of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Hey.
We're not going to do them all back to back, but
No.
we'll probably do them all at some point. And as always, I've been Dylan.
I've been Kyle.
And I've been James. And for one last time, this has been The Juice.